Alrighty, I think we are good to go. Hello, howdy, hey there, folks. Hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing amazing today. We got in front of us some more Elden Ring. Wouldn't you damn well guess it? The last time we left off, we had made our way over to Dragon Sentinel. Took a couple hits, unfortunately, due to the... It's always annoying, but it is the fucking Knight's Cav. I think in this case, the one thing that I can definitely take away from this run so far has been that the Knight's Cav, probably I need to dedicate a little bit more time to working on that and making it so the Knight's Cav doesn't screw me over with a couple of hits. Cause like, yeah, that's unfortunate. That is highly unfortunate. I think where we're standing right now, though, we were just about to go and pivot, head off into a cave system for half a minute, go collect a couple fives, pretty much, and pretty much just make it so hopefully our weapons at like a plus 13, plus 14, arguably. Because based off of the results from last time, that was a safer range to be in, to fully kill Margit before he gets into his second phase. So we're going to probably be dedicating some time to doing that first and foremost today. Now luckily, I think with our plus 9's Y, we shouldn't be having as many issues on certain things here. In theory, I want to say, but we'll kind of see where things sit. I think I already got the Ritual Sword Talisman. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. It's been exactly just barely long enough since the last time I played. Surely we're not going to have any, like, superb rust on the bones. I'm sure that's not going to happen. That would be upsetting, to say the least. Admittedly, the route I'm taking right now is kind of scuffed. This isn't the correct routing for this, but... I mean, as long as I don't get hit, yeah. Yeah. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, by the way. I'm not exactly tuned into it myself, or really particularly caring, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just, Super Bowl has never really been one for me. It's not really one I care about, not really one I want to watch, at all. Alright, there's the giant. Might be a little preemptive to Assassin's Gambit here, but I'm going to Assassin's Gambit now. So hopefully once I'm a little bit closer to these lads, there shouldn't, in theory, be any issues. I almost kind of want to see if there's ways for me to work around the fact that like, right now I'm looking for that extra damage. But I kind of want to maybe take a little bit more of an introspective look into it, maybe next stream. Maybe not this stream in particular, but maybe next stream. Taking a look into it to see if there's anything that we can do to help give ourselves that boost without having to have too much, I guess, to worry about. So, it is a general question on the mind, I would say. Let's equip those because they might actually be useful. Admittedly, right now, I'm kind of thinking that I'd prefer to have the Zweihander on, and this, yes. We could Golden Vow Dagger still. That seems reasonable enough. Seem to be able to have all this on our inventory without having to really think about it too much. Yeah, okay. Alright, I think that's fine. That should be more than fine for the time being. Beautiful. Alright. Now, as far as explosive clumps go, they've not really been doing the trick in this next room coming. I'm almost kind of wondering if, like, maybe I just don't do it. Because, like, it hasn't really been working out, right? I didn't really trigger that guy. Let me try running in and running back out to see if that triggers the load for the dogs. There we go. Triggered those guys. Did it trigger both dogs? For the most part, yes. Okay, this was dumb. It's really funny how quickly, like, this has just gone sideways. Yeah, admittedly, this kind of went sideways, like, drastically. So let's reset the area, reset the situation. I'm kind of questioning here. Why do I bother going back into that room? Because, like, for the number of times that I've gone back there, I'm trying to think of, like, what do I really get out from back there? Because I don't really think I've gotten a lot out of going back there. Can I de-aggro this guy? It would be nice. Oh, nope, he just immediately decided he wanted to be aggro again. That's fair. That's understandable. You know, I'm kind of annoyed about that whiff. That whiff felt really fucking stupid. Okay. Flame attack, can it be over? Yeah, not really sure about that one. Admittedly, I'm kind of... I don't know, I'm seeing more and more value out of just going to the one cave that we already got the 3-4 bell from, and just farming those lads, because at least in that circumstance, I'm not possibly putting myself at risk. I want to kind of see if the explosive clump here can go inside that room. It doesn't fucking kill the dogs! What the fuck? Yeah, the dogs aren't even dead right now. Fuckery. Oh, motherfucker. Alright, there we go. Our dogs are aggroed that way. Was this... I can't even make an argument for why that would be worth it. Because that is stupidly risky. I don't know about that one. I'm doing that for 1 stone at that point. Like, that's highly, highly fucking risky. Like, don't get me wrong, if one of these lads were able to drop me an extra stone, then cool, we're cooking. Kind of, barely. But... Alright, do that. Reapply. Do this. Pull out the stamp. Actually, you know what? Let me golden bow. It doesn't remove my body buff, so that actually works out. The dog is the scary one here. The guy with the lantern, he's scary, but he's not scary in the same way. Also, I like the fact that that apparently didn't activate and kill him. It just fucked around with me. Only me. So, yeah, that was really cool. Thank you, game. Going back this way, what do I get here? I get 1 more Smithy 5 at this point. And where am I currently at, Smithy-wise? Currently at 6. So that's my up to 14 right there. Trying to get it up to 15 while I could potentially squeak that out, I admittedly question why I would do that at this point. So, I am kind of questioning why I would do that at this point. I do that cookery, run over here, grab that. You know, it'd be really nice if this one guy decided to not be the world's biggest dickhead. There we go. Alright, aggro him that way. Nothing to see here, sir. I know that there's that one Smithy 5, or probably a Smithy 5 right there. I'm just kind of like, why would I do that? Because, like, there's a number of things that are in here that otherwise just kind of really aren't worth it. I'm kind of questioning, like, how much do I really want to go down into, what is this, Old Altus Tunnel? Because Old Altus Tunnel so far has proven itself to be pretty dangerous. Like, it is not a cheap walk, for sure. Like, I need a fully charged Y-hander strike at +9 in order to kill the dogs here. Assuming I don't do any buffing, of course. And I'm guessing here that if I were to fully buff, that maybe it might be a little bit cheaper. Let me go to Altus Tunnel and question that one a little bit more. Because if Altus Tunnel ends up actually being just ever so slightly better to use at the end of the day, then yeah, you know what, fuck it, why not? +14, I think, is our area of grace, more or less. Haha. I think +14 is just shy of enough for us. Trying to think if there's any other caves that I could possibly go to that would actually just give me the advantage ever so slightly more. If I could get my +5s in another location, and it be significantly just generally less dangerous, I think that would arguably be a better bet. Because Old Altus is definitely not really quite it. It's a bit dangerous. So. Shouldn't need the Zweihander for this next cave. Shouldn't. Actually, yeah, legitimately we shouldn't need it at all. If we need it for this cave, then we have a bigger problem. I forget what this guy sells, but I want to say it's nothing of importance. Lightning pots and rope lightning pots. I wonder if lightning pots would be worth anything of actual value to me. I would kind of argue no, just because it seems... it just kind of seems unimportant. Golden arrow stacked there. Really, at this point, we may not even need a majority of anything else I'm going after, so we should be fine, in all seriousness. Alright, Altus Tunnel, here we come. Hopefully it goes well enough. And again, I am kind of now thinking in the back of my head, like, would it be worth it to try and farm just a handful of the lads in the 3-4 cave? Because if that happens frequently enough, or if I get myself a silver foulfoot, and it makes reasonable amounts of sense to do that, then yeah, I'm kind of questioning why I wouldn't just do that. Alright, do all that, activate this grace. Alright, now, problems with this cave in particular. There are plenty of mannequins, and as we've learned in the past, mannequins are fucking obnoxious as hell. I haven't actually tested whether or not a single mighty shot is enough to kill mannequins. I'm assuming that it wouldn't be, only because it just doesn't seem reasonable to me. But I digress. Okay, well, it killed that guy quickly enough. We killed that quickly enough. I think this is Crystallian Knife. Never mind, it was a Rune Arc. Yeah, fuck it, whatever. Alright, Smithy 5. Assassin's Gambit buff wearing off as quickly as it does. A little unfortunate, but fair enough. I don't remember if there's any... Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So no, there's not, and no, it wasn't worth it. Fair enough. You know what, let me kill that snail, because otherwise it's gonna fucking walk out of that room slowly but surely and tickle my dick, and I'm just gonna be mad about it. Alright, whatever. Is 8 enough? I think it's 2, 4, 2, 4, 6, right? It's 2, 4, 6? Yeah. So 6 actually would have been enough to get us to the 14 that we are at right now. I'm gonna leave the cave. I'm gonna leave the cave, and I think I'm gonna progress as usual. Because admittedly, yeah, it's a little unfortunate that I just took 2 hits for literally no fuck-ass reason. And that was 2 hits, unfortunately, because that was 2 procs. That was 2 little tickles. So, yeah, not awesome. Not great. But c'est la vie. Alright, if we start making our way into the capital at this point, we are going to pretty much be fast-tracking our way up to Golden Godfrey. And I think right before we hit, or not Golden Godfrey, but Goldfrey, my bad, Piss Godfrey. Once we're done at Piss Godfrey, then we're pretty much right on to Morgott. I think Morgott is where I want to have the pivot take place from going from balls into Starfists. Because admittedly, getting into Starfists would be highly useful. So. Alright, cool. I think we have essentially everything that we need right now. More or less. I might try that out. We'll see. Because pretty much, at least off of what I just learned really quickly there, is that I'm not sure Altus Tunnel is exactly worth it. There's not a lot of stones in there for sure, and there's not really a lot of incentive to going there, other than maxing out a weapon, which, I mean, like, give or take, maxing out a weapon is nice, but if I'm taking damage for stupid reasons, then I'm taking damage for stupid reasons. I don't really need to kill these ones, but I have just recently just kind of been deciding that they're kind of dangerous to play around with. And now I think I only hear the horn of one of them, which, I mean, one of them trying to kill me, not so bad. Multiple, yeah, that's really bad. Take that jump. That jump. Almost missed the jump on accident, like a goofball, a goober. Alright, so something I've been doing that I don't actually need to do, is I've been going around and getting the shortcut here. We're going to stop doing that, admittedly, because there's actually not really a good enough reason to be doing that. Do this, and I'm going to full buff for this. At least I'm going to mostly buff for this. I want the tree to die as quickly as possible, and the sooner the tree dies, the better. Alright, I'm pretty sure those are golden flies right there. I'm going to ignore those against every instinct. Is that enough to kill? No. That was enough to kill, though. Beautiful. So, is there a use for holy grease? Is there like a genuine use for holy grease on this run? I can't really think of one. Alright, go. Apply. We should pretty much be good at this point, but I always prefer to just double down on the application of the Assassin's Gambit. Because, like, you have it, it's better to just use it. I think admittedly that's a bad habit that came to me probably from playing games like Elder Scrolls and Oblivion and whatnot. It really, like, that is definitely a bad habit I would attribute to those games, admittedly. Not really a bad habit per se, but it's just kind of a habit that you have to learn to break whenever you're playing a game like this, because every little interaction matters a lot more than usual. And very much so, a lot of these buffs, if I'm not just using them, it's essentially going to waste. Really, it's kind of what it comes down to. So, alright. So here's where we're going to go ahead and go get the Starfists now. Yeah, we're going to go get the Starfists right this minute. I thought I heard somebody chasing me. That would have been unfortunate, to say the least. I don't have the bow equipped. Let me go ahead and equip the bow real quickly. Rock. He almost looked at me. Stealth for just an extra minute here. I don't really find those guys, like, terribly threatening by any measure. It's just sort of, it's just sort of a respect thing, where it's like, you gotta kind of respect the enemy that you're about to deal with, regardless of how actually threatening they are, because, I mean, if you don't respect things, then, well, it catches up with you really fucking quickly. It really does. I forget, isn't there a second way to get over to the branch that's over here? I thought there was. Yeah, maybe not. Oh well. I mean, I'm not really that, like, desperate to get around this situation as quickly as possible. Just... Oh, actually, wait. I'm kind of dumb. There's literally a fucking pathway right there. Alright, get triggered. Beautiful. We just do that real quickly to just essentially guarantee safety. It's nice to guarantee the safety. Especially considering Kukri are only 60 a pop right now, and like that's really fucking cheap. So yeah, we're gonna waste a little bit more in terms of resources to just get through these situations. Right. Shouldn't actually have to worry about these flower pod dudes very much so. Like, for the most part, this run is pretty... I'm... Sure, okay, alright, well now it's threatening. Now it's mildly threatening because I slipped. That was a weird-ass jump. That was a weird-ass slip. That should not have happened. Alright, there we go. Run over this way. Recover. Make sure aggro has been fully lost. We will be using balls for this next fight. Because, I mean, the balls are fine. Alright, I think we're pretty much good to go, though. Oh, we don't have... Well, I mean, we might have Flask for this fight, but it's going to be the remnants of our Flask, so... Yeah, that was kind of dumb on my part, admittedly. That was kind of dumb on my part, but whatever. I'm sure it's fine. Alright, no jump, apparently. I'm a little surprised that I tanked that. Wait, I'm a little surprised that I lived. I mean, it's still annoying as piss because That was a dumb hit to take. That was a dumb hit to take. That should not have happened. And that was just, honestly, at that point, that was just pure greed. But the fact that we lived it is kind of shocking to me. I mean, we have... Hang on. We have Radagon's Source Seal right now, and we have 709 hit points. We take, what is it? I think 30% more damage whenever we're dealing with, whenever we're getting hit right now. We don't have any defensive buffs at all. So the fact that we live that just, that's actually kind of, in a way, that's honestly really wacky. All right, they look that way. Beautiful. All right, we're going to get this Grace, and we're going to go to table, and we're going to go ahead and level up the Starfists as much as we can. Which I think should be up to its maximum right now, unless we are missing stones in some capacity. We might be. 12, 12, 12, 10. Okay, cool. So yeah, the Starfists, we can get them up to a plus 14 then. We just need to buy 2 more stones. Go, do all that. We could buy the wet knife here now, but I think I'm just gonna say fuck it and not. Mainly because, I don't know, we don't need to. We don't really need to.
Those over Chalvine and what?
Alright, there we go. Plus 14 on balls. Awesome. Great. And then we crag on our Starfists. And then we're going to go ahead and level our strength probably as much as we can here. Alright, there we go. I think we're essentially good to go at this point. Like, we don't really... I might spend the rest of this money on the stones needed to get our Zweihander moving along. Which is at +9 right now, so we need 4s pretty much. So, spend pretty much all this on 4s. That was too much. But oh well. Okay. Alright. I don't know if we're going to finish this run at this rate. Because admittedly, I don't know, like having us sitting at 6 of our best, which is PB 12 right now, I don't really see a reason to continue the run as heavily. I mean, we'll probably still carry it on to some extent, but admittedly, it just kind of feels less important to keep it rolling because of that, so... Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. I bought the fucking Smithy 1 instead. That's fair. That's understandable. Do I have anything I can just sell that I don't really... Yeah, okay. Smithy 5. There we go. That'll buy me plenty of these. There we go. Alright. Off to deal with Morgott. The thing is this setup that we have right now should be pretty good for Morgott. It should be. It should just hands down, like, cake his ass, if not close to. I might consider doing a quick save quit, or not save quit, but a quick warp out with Grace. Just to essentially have the setup be slightly different here. Nah, fuck it. We'll just do it as is. Let's do it as is and see what happens. Surely it'll go fine. It'd be really unfortunate if that half a second of me dicking around there mattered drastically. Of course, the old man goes for the worst fucking opener. Dodge, dodge. Dodge, step forward. Beautiful. This is scuffed, but so far it's feeling good. There we go. Alright, yeah. Admittedly, I think Starfists were definitely the correct option there. I think in this case, like, we could have probably done that Starfist, like, 12, maybe 13, and we still would have been just fine. Like, Starfists, that bleed proc definitely came in at the very end there and helped clear the last of the health bar out, so. Okay. Alright, then maybe we will be doing that. Maybe Starfist will be our pivot weapon once we enter Capital, and that'll make it so we don't have to think about doing either of the cave systems. We can just kind of hold off on that at that point.
Let my hand share them with me. Your thoughts.
Alright, there we go. And then we can go ahead and head down to Avenue Balcony, and we can go ahead. Probably we'll take it as far as we want to today, I guess. You know what? Fuck it. Let's play it out anyways. Let's play this character out anyways, because this is essentially the downhill slide anyways. Everything going forward here is essentially the downhill slide right into the end game. So assuming that everything goes well at this point, then we can still get away with a 6 for our next best PB. Which, that would be great. Also, I just realized I put down PR instead of PB, which I might change that soon enough. Probably will change that. I'm just gonna run up and murder this dude. It doesn't really cost me any effort to murder him real quickly, and I figure, hey, if he's out of the way, in case for some weird reason the light accidentally reflects off my my fucking butt cheeks in the right way and he gets mad at me, I would prefer to avoid the accidental aggro as opposed to the alternative. So. Alright, we should be good at this point on Kukri for the rest of the run, in all seriousness. And likewise, in terms of damage, between the Starfists and between the Zweihander, admittedly, the Zweihander is really kind of only there for, like, one major reason, and that is purely for NPC demolishment. It is almost entirely there for just NPC demolishment, admittedly. But, I mean, it is good for a reason, so. I don't really need to do that for these guys, but, like, yeah, not really. I mean, these guys have never been a threat, and I've literally run through here way too often for them to ever be a problem. It's kind of just one of those things of, like, I'm thinking a little too hard on this, probably. More than likely. Likewise, even with the guy that's right behind us, the cavalry knight right there, they're not really a problem. It's just kind of one of those things of, like, I'm overthinking it. I have the ability to overthink it more than usual. So, yeah. It is kind of funny. It ends up being a lot of, I've done these things so many times, brain turned off, and then I have the ability to overthink it, and now I'm overthinking it because of that situation. I think one of my best examples of it is probably Stormveil. Because Stormveil, I normally just put on the Nikes and just run through the main area like it's a fucking Mario level, and I just hit the BLJs back to back to back. But it's not necessary. It's just kind of funny that I put a lot of weight into Assassin's Gambit, because, like, it is good. It is really good. I just know for a fact that more or less, like these certain circumstances, I've done them enough where I probably don't need them, but yeah. I need to come up with a more consistent kill for Bernal. I do. Because Bernal right now, if I hit him once, or if I try to hit him with what you call it, too early, Giant's Hunt too early, he doesn't stagger, he doesn't flinch, he doesn't anything at all, except get pissed at me. And I kind of need him to, like, save getting pissed. Because if he gets pissed too early, he essentially just doesn't get knocked up in the air at all. But weirdly enough, if you hit him and then try to Giant's Hunt him, then at that point he will get knocked into the air and you can punish him. So, something I kind of need to keep in mind when running through that area. Alright, cool. Off to the mountaintops, we'll get our balls all the way up to plus 18, have leftovers hopefully maybe for this Y-hander. But either way, we'll be getting up to plus 18 and maybe a little bit higher than that, I think. I think it's because, yeah, we have 2 Smithy 7s. And those 2 Smithy 7s at this point will carry our weapon just that slight bit further into plus 19. And I figure with what weapons that we have, it probably will end up being balls. Because balls, I mean, admittedly would be really good for Fire Giant as well. Just because, I mean, bleed, fast moving, does a lot of poise damage. Unfortunately, that bird aggroed a little too firmly. Alright, cool. Bird stop being aggro. Let's get the fuck out of these. I wonder if this is technically like an overall dangerous route for me. At least running through the little structure right here in that exact way that I did that. I wonder if maybe I should just kind of focus it more over to the hard left for safety. Maybe, potentially. There's not a lot of things here that I consider, like, highly dangerous. But there's... Mostly in this case, I would say the birds are probably the most dangerous thing in this exact area. Just because they can kind of catch up with you out of nowhere, and... Yeah, that's not too good. That's not too shabby. Actually, I just realized shabby does not mean I don't need that. It's a lost sash of war that's right there, and frankly, as far as it stands, it has not benefited me a single time on these runs. It like, in theory, could potentially provide me something. It's just not going to provide me a lot. Alright. Alright, beautiful. Never punished. Alrighty, well, this is the fun part of the run where we essentially just have to buckle up and ride on for, God, for fucking quite a while. I might see if there's a faster route potentially through the mountaintops, because I don't think I've really ever explored it, and like, other than the route I always choose, I can't really say that there would be a faster route. Which is unfortunately a little problematic, a little annoying, I would say, just because it is a lot to have to run through. It really is. Let me keep my flask equipped because I don't want to accidentally waste a kukri. It's not gonna matter like horribly if we waste a kukri, but yeah. I'm going to get this Grace only because it might be a curiosity for me to check and see if the invisible bridge would be faster. Because the invisible bridge that leads over to the little study with, what is it, raining stars or whatever, that does put me right on that other side. And as far as I can think of, it's literally up that hill around there, and that's that little bridge right there. The one risk to it, admittedly, is that if you don't time your jump out properly, you just fall off and you fall to your death, right? Which, I'm not saying that that's good, because, well, not, but... Also, I don't know, like, that could potentially be a better route. It could potentially be a better route. Alright, we don't need the tier and we don't need the bell bearing. I can pretty much successfully ignore both of those. I was really trying to think about it last time and, like, what reason do I get those? And, like, the flask upgrade isn't really necessary because, well... Okay, well, that was cool. There we go. I'm really glad those dogs take as long as they do to aggro, which tells me I can more or less consistently get those runes whenever I want to. So, okay, cool. I will in fact be getting them every time then, probably. Yeah, I don't really see another reason to get another flask tier, and another reason to get another bell bearing that doesn't really do me any favors. There's not really a good reason to do it. So, I'm decidedly not going to be doing it anymore, I think, on this run. Okay. Don't really need the map. And I'm gonna ignore it for some reason, because, I don't know, I'm actually listening to myself, question mark. Alright, we can more or less set up for our next major boss fight, because once we get up to the top here, we'll pretty much be going into Fire Giant after we sit down at our Grace. I think our Fire Giant should be just fine. Oh, wait. No. I was about to do something pretty stupid there. Yes, we do actually need to do something still before we go fight Fire Giant, and that is level up our weapon, because it's currently at a plus 13 or 14. So yes, it does actually matter. There we go. Cool. So glad I remembered that one. Alright, so stone-wise, how are we doing here? We need 5 more... I'm sorry, not 5 more. We need 3 more 5s. Or, I'm sorry, 4 more 5s. 11 6s. And then we're on to 7s. Alright, go ahead and use this old man for some pocket change. There we go. Cool. At this point, I'm not going to worry about the Zweihander and getting it leveled up any more than I already have. But what I will go ahead and do for the Zweihander before I completely fucking forget about it, because I know that this dicked me over and I got hit for it, is I forgot to put... Giant's Hunt actually on... Oh, I'm missing... Wait, I'm missing a 6? Oh, am I missing a 6? I thought I bought all the 6s that I needed. No, I didn't. I'm dumb. I bought 4 when I should have bought 5. Alright, let me go fix that. But no, Zweihander, I forgot to put on Giant's Hunt. And that did screw me over. That did get me hit, I think at least once for it. So, there we go. Should have been able to remember that one from the start, but oh well.
Back already, no matter.
Alright, there we go. 17, 18, 19. Beautiful. And then there's Y. Let's go ahead and Giants hunt that bad boy real quickly. Awesome. And I think otherwise... I mean, I'll probably... You know, I'm going to sell the 50k, but I'm going to leave the baby runes around because the baby runes will probably attribute to leveling up this Y when it comes time. So, yeah, that's, I think, probably the plan there. Alright, that is a total of 72 strength. Is that actually, yeah, is that it exactly? 72 strength right now, and that's with the talisman and also the great rune, I guess. Okay, cool. Well, as long as that covers everything, then in that case. I think we're good to go, pretty much. I'm going to real quickly step across the hall here, folks, and I will be right back. So, I guess for the time being, just enjoy our horrible, horrible creation. I'll be right back. Alright, let's do this. Let's kick this ass. And by this ass, I specifically mean fire giants. Again, fire giants should be fine. I don't think fire giant will actually be an issue. Fire giant so far has not been an issue. There's like a handful of things that fire giant can ultimately do that can be incredibly annoying if he chooses to do them. But more often than not, whenever he's inside his own arena and you just fight him normally, the RNG for him is usually about the same every single time. Usually. With like a handful of things here and there that fire giant can do that really fuck everything up, but it's not normal for him to fuck everything up, I would say. Alright, chug this, and away we go. Alright, how about it? Good RNG, bad RNG. What's it gonna be? Bad RNG. I mean, it's fine. Okay, yeah, admittedly, that qualifies as actually, like, dog shit fucking RNG. Yeah, that one qualifies as dog shit RNG. As far as things stand. Like, that one was particularly fucking goofy. I'm not gonna lie. God damn it, and what's worse about that even now is normally you get the advantage of going into the arena and actually getting to buff right in front of Fire Giant for the most part. But now because his fucking goofball ass decided to really throw things up in the air and fucking ruin things. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna chug a little early here, run in. Do this. Recrag my balls. my walls. Oh, he actually did the correct RNG, bastard. There we go. It wasn't great. In fact, it's still not great, but we'll take it. Should be right here. Okay, a little unfortunate. Double negative. Here's the thing, I always see people being scared of this attack, and I'm not exactly sure why. Because, like, I don't know, you run behind Fire Giant, and I feel like it's consistently never going to hit you. Now, admittedly, did I play that incredibly risky? Yeah, I did. I did, in fact, play that second half incredibly risky. It's, again, highly unfortunate that we got hit on something that otherwise, like, Fire Giant, you just don't normally get hit on. It's just really funny that he chose to do back-to-back of the fucking Shoveler. And, yeah, I guess that does seem about right. When I talk about his RNG being relatively okay for the most part, he would decide to do something different for once in a blue moon. So, yeah, that adds up. That adds up. God damn it, fuck you, Fire Giant. You son of a bitch. I think we're about at the point to where we don't have to really level up anymore for the rest of the run. Yeah, we're about at that point, roughly. I might just choose to squeeze out the rest of my leveling up right now. Because I don't think we get our Smithy 7s or anything to level up our balls until after Godskin Duo has been put in the grave. So. Alright, 69. That gives us total 79 strength at that point. We might end up doing a little bit of side investment into endurance. That way, when we actually use this Y-hander, we should just be fast rolling for it. So. Alright, talk to Melina, and let's get our asses up to the mountaintops.
I have long observed the lands between this world and death. Are you to commit? Very let my hand.
You know, I'm still not entirely sure who Melina is in the grand scheme of things. Like, what she's considered to be. Who's she supposed to be to the plot, the lore. Which I guess maybe that's like a portion of the point, right? I'm guessing that that's probably a portion of the point. Okay. Alright, now comes Farum Azula, which honestly, Farum Azula, other than Birdfuck Valley, Farum Azula is actually pretty straightforward for the most part. Like, Birdfuck Valley should not provide us really any issues. Really. Alright, that triggers that lad. Beautiful. That triggers that lad. Beautiful. My throws have been getting better. My throws have definitely been getting better. Like, I've definitely been hitting my shots way more frequently, which is nice. That is nice to see. I do pick these stones up just because they're on the way, and frankly, I don't really get punished for it, so kind of just why not? I mean, don't get me wrong, ancient dragons are annoying as piss, but I don't really run into enough situations where the Ancient Dragon causes me issues. Or hardly at all. Of course, he naturally does something that would otherwise possibly hit me just because it's a fucking BM move. That does seem about right. But luckily we got away with it anyways, because, yeah, we do. Alright. Fly. Alright, I think we aim it for right here. And I believe that triggers everybody that we want triggered. Yes. Okay. Alright, we don't actually need this grace right here. I keep picking it up even though I don't need it. Likewise, the Somber Stone Bell Bearing that's right here isn't really required. So, we're fine. Again, it's just kind of funny, like, just how good, really, it is to have Assassin's Gambit. Because it pretty much makes a lot of these enemies here just otherwise completely... They're just there for the scenery at this point, is really what it comes down to. Okay, one thing I have been doing that's maybe more risky than I need to be. Yeah, you know what, that actually seems fine. I don't even really need to take that little shortcut of a route right there. I've been getting away with it every single time, but, like, there's only so many times I can get away with it until eventually it just catches up to me. So. I shouldn't take fall damage for this. There we go. Okay. Alright, reapply. One last time. Run up here. Could he get the wall? Alright, just a second, folks. Once I get over to this grace, I'm actually going to sit down. I'm going to have to step away for 2 extra seconds. My baby boy has started to bark a little bit, and I just need to make sure he's okay. So it'll be just a minute here, and then we'll go ahead and deal with the Godskins. Alrighty, folks. Thanks for waiting. I appreciate it. Luckily, it wasn't anything actually major or anything like that. Just making sure that he's okay, safe and sound, of course. Also making sure that nobody's at the door. So, okay. We don't need cookery for this next part. We need sleeping pots for this next part. Likewise, do I have any sleeping arrows? I don't. Not that we really need the sleeping arrows. I've come to find that I just don't technically really need them all that much. I'm probably going to be bleed greasing instead of cragging on my balls this time. The bleed would definitely probably be a lot stronger, grand scheme of things. Alright, puts one of them to sleep. You know what? Honestly, that's fine. Puts 2 of them to sleep. This is why we got the extra pot. Alright, bleed on my balls. Chug. Big, meaty punches. Awesome. Didn't get that final punch there. That's okay. Good. That actually was exactly where we wanted that to be. There we go. Go ahead and stand right over here. Wait for whomsoever spawns in first. Alright, that was actually just enough to put him to sleep. Beautiful. Skinny should go down without any real application of bumping. There we go. Cool. And with that done, we no longer need sleeping pots for the rest of the run. Likewise, we can carry our weapon pretty much to max at this point. Or close to max, which is nice. So, we're going to get this grace. We're going to go ahead and go spend our money. And we're going to go do that. Likewise, we'll probably be working on getting the Zweihander leveled up at this point. Gotta go ahead and get them both going. Alright. As a quick reminder, these are at plus 19, so we need 10 more 7s right now. Then as for 8s, I think we have 2 at the moment for 8s. No, we have 4. Okay, so we need 8 more for that. We're gonna need more than more anyways, but at least for the time being, let's focus on our balls, probably. I did not need to deposit that one, but fair enough. Alright, so 10 more of these bad boys. And then at this point, 8 more of these. And that gets our balls all the way up to plus 12. Or plus 24 at that point. Like I said, kind of want to start investing in the next weapon anyways, so we need 12 more of these. The Zwei right now, how low is the Zwei actually? The Zwei is currently at 9. So the Zwei's got a lot to go actually. We already got our 4s though, that's good. Go and get our 12s. Then we can go ahead and get the 11, I'm sorry, the 11s, the 6s as well. There we go. Cool. I kind of want to do a Stormhawk Axe run at some point or another here. I think that'd actually be pretty damn good. The Stormhawk Axe is actually a really fucking good weapon, just in general, like across the board for this game. Right, there's plus 24 on that. And then we can start working on the Zwei on the side. We do have Fire Giant Soul, so you know what? I'll sell that real quickly and start pumping that into the weapon. There we go. 22 on the Zwei. Only need a little bit more to make that happen. 27k left over, or 2700 left over, my bad. I think we're good. I think we're good. Now it's essentially just our final stealth part. And then after this final stealth part, we're essentially in the end game. So, that's good news. Okay. Need this, and we need the bow. And likewise, we also need our kukri back out. Do this. Run here. Hit this pillar. There we go. Reapply. Probably don't need to make this jump, admittedly. but I've done it so many times that I just kind of feel like it's just the correct way of doing it. Now, likewise, that would be another chance for the Beast Torch to actually shine, if I were to actually, you know, keep that in the equation. But the only problem is I have a tendency to forget about it after I've gotten done in Caelid, pretty much. So, yeah, admittedly, if I didn't forget about Caelid every time, then that would be great. But, hang on, folks. Sorry. Alright. Go. There we go. Cool. Okay. Birdfuck Valley. Birdfuck Valley. Birdfuck Valley isn't necessarily horribly dangerous at this point due to the fact that we do have stealth mechanics. It doesn't exactly excuse it from totally fucking us over, grand scheme of things. But for the most part anymore, Birdfuck Valley, we just essentially apply our stealthy stealth, do this, do that, run on through, and we're, for the most part, pretty good, honestly. There's not really a lot of birds here that tend to notice you, unless you're, like, stupidly close to them. Now, there is definitely one part here where we have to actually acknowledge the birds and be safe about it, but otherwise we're fine. All right, one hit to the head should be enough to trigger him. Beautiful. He's pissed, he's angry, and he's gone. I fucking love that tech. It's such a dumb bit of tech, but it is really funny every single time, admittedly. Alright, so, stealth. What the fuck? I did not mean to do a running heavy there. Okay, cool. Reapply. That was scuffed. That was scuffed, but we got away with it, which is, you know, kind of the whole point. I could have done that better, though. I could have definitely done that better. Alright, let's get our kukri back out. Luckily, this next little section here isn't really all that dangerous. At least as far as it stands, like the number of times I've done it. Alright, trigger that lad real quickly. He gets mad at that wall. Doesn't know why he's mad at that wall, but he is mad at it. Alright, that guy does not aggro to us. We love to see it. This last little bit of stealth here, admittedly, I've kind of questioned on whether or not just letting my buff run out there. Because this guy right here tends to have really wacky attack patterns whenever I'm running at him stealthy. And, like, it can go so fucking sideways if he decides he's going to do the wrong attack there. Just because of how his moveset works. Like, normally what happens is when you're running past him, you trigger him, you annoy the piss out of him, and you roll into him. And with rolling into him, you essentially make it so you can roll past him. But because I've been stealthing there, I don't know. Like, I'm maybe it's a kukri spot in this case. It could be a kukri spot. Because if we were to kukri there, we might just be able to completely bypass that situation. Alright, do this. Because if he's staring at a wall, then maybe we can just happen to run past him instead of it being so particularly scary. But I'm not really sure if that would work in the way that I want it to. So, what happened there? Okay, just making sure the knight didn't accidentally turn around and go, who's that? It's happened. And it is annoying as piss. Right. Do that. Walk into arena, apply flame grant me. And pretty much at this point, we should not be buffing again.
Destined death. I will not have it stolen from me again.
little annoyed by the whiffs. Okay, that's annoying as piss. I fucking... I gimmicked myself. I gimmicked myself. I gimmicked myself. I fucking Luigi... I Luigi Steppers slid right into that blade. The comedy is here, is that this probably would be a situation for us to swap into the Zweihander. Because as far as it stands, admittedly, Zweihander just kind of cakes this fight a shit ton better. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that theory to the test right now, to prove my point. Because luckily, this Zweihander doesn't have a fucking problem hitting things. Hey, Minnie. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Was it a nice try, though? Was it? That looked pretty bad to me. I mean, I appreciate the solidarity, man, but that was bad. That was bad. It's okay. I could have done better. And you know what? Honestly, at the end of the day, I guess, if we run away from this run with only 9 hits, it is an improvement. It is an improvement. It's not a massive improvement, but, you know, it's something. I mean, until that part, you know, fair, yeah. Until that part, it was actually pretty okay. You know, it was a pretty good attempt until the part where I sucked. Alright, now we have to buff outside the arena, because Malekith gets fucking pissy. Oh, here comes the Malekith. Oh. Poke. Poke. Roll away. Big meaty stabbers. Roll, roll. Run behind. Big meaty blade right up the butthole. Wait for that stun to disappear. And that should probably work out, in theory. He's been doing that too much lately. Malekith has been doing that shit to me way too much lately. He's been canceling his moves. He doesn't normally fucking do that, I guarantee it. Like, he doesn't normally cancel his moves like that, but the fact that he's been canceling his moves has been so bad. If he fucking cancels his shit, it goes sideways so quickly. And, like, the worst part is it almost forces me to have to say, okay, do I play safer than I have to? Because, like, I don't want to play safe like that. Like, I don't, but... oh, well. Alright. Alright, just chug. Crag on my blade. Golden Bow. Flame. Oh, I should have flashed first. That's really dumb, actually. That was completely backwards on the buffing sequence. I think I do have. Okay, well, you know, there goes any potential for the run. You know what? It's fine. I kind of planned for this anyways. Like, the thing is the run was already kind of dead after 3 hits, in my opinion. This motherfucker. This isn't even, like, a bad fight in particular for me. It's just unfortunate that it's going so sideways. I'm doing a lot of shit that I shouldn't be doing right now, though, to be fair. Alright, there we go. Second phase. Oh, okay, I see. We're just gonna completely fucking ignore that. Okay, so yeah, we're just going off the fucking rails, I guess, at this point. Alright, well, at this point, I'm gonna say that the hits don't really fucking matter, because it's already a dead run. But at the same time, it's just mildly frustrating that Malekith is doing this. It's mildly frustrating. Oh well, okay, it's fine. It's only Malekith. It's only Malekith doing what Malekith be doing. And now, unfortunately, our stats are lower overall. We can't quite do as much shenanigans or bullshit for the situation as we might technically want to. Do we have enough to flame grant me? No, we don't. Okay. Alright. I mean, I think the point still stands, at least in terms of a technical standpoint of, like, yeah, it does turn out. It does still stand to state. I don't know if at this point it's me, like, I think I'm just actively throwing, is what it comes down to at this point. Because, like, I'm not really, like, I've done this enough fucking times, but now at this point, essentially, it is just me actively throwing, is what it comes down to. Fucking Malekith, man. Fucking Malekith. Alright, chug, chug. Two-hand, chug, crag. Golden Bow into... Oh, actually, I still need to chug anyways for Flame Grant me. Fair enough. Damn, that Great Rune actually does matter a fair amount, huh? Alright. That should be... Yes, it is. Okay. That should set up for the stagger. Didn't get the stagger, apparently. Or didn't get the riposte. Which is kind of annoying as piss. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever failed the riposte check there. But apparently today is an interesting day. Yeah, today's an interesting day. It is highly disappointing. Highly disappointing. I think after Malekith is done here, I might actually go ahead and start the new run at that point. Because admittedly, like, there's not really a good enough point to start or continue this run at this point. Because, well, it's already bull dropped. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, what did I miss here, if I missed anything. Maybe, if anything, what I should maybe consider doing at the very end here, with where things are sitting, is maybe at this point in time, instead of taking my balls up to plus 22, or 24, maybe I take the Zweihander up to plus 24 instead. Because the Zweihander would be my primary weapon for Malekith. At least I feel like it's a better weapon overall for Malekith. It generally does way more work and just feels better. Alright. Kinda mad. Kinda mad about the whiff. Alright, should be the big wind. Never mind, not the big wind. Okay. Alright, yeah, this has been mostly bad though. Alright, take the stagger. See, like, that was still scuffed. That was still scuffed. That was still scuffed. Nothing changed there, really. But, I don't know. I don't know. It does make me question now on, if maybe this Y-hander gets the plus 24 before the balls. Because the balls, really, I'm not going to be using Starfists at this point. Malekith into Gideon is pretty much what happens next. And then maybe I pivot at that point into balls when it comes to Horaloo. Maybe. I wouldn't say it's a requirement for Horaloo, because this Y-hander is also just really good for Horaloo as well. You don't get as many opportunities, but also I think he's a lot more fair on his opportunities that you can take. So, either way. I think I already did buy the stones, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay. Let's take ours Y up to plus 24. Go ahead and swap the Ash of War on it to Giant's Hunt, and then we'll be ready for Godskin Duo. I will play it out. I will play it out, or Godskin Duo. Gideon Ofnir, my bad. I'll play it out at this point just because, why not? Well, I don't need... Technically, I don't need another Rune Arc, because we can just go pick up the Rune Arc that's going to be in our way pretty shortly here. You know what? Let's just put it to strength. Let's just put it to strength. That seems reasonable enough. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go wrap this up. Let's do this. I'm still sad. I'm still sad because, like, honestly, those were really stupid ways to lose hits. If anything, it just kind of tells me that I think I need a little bit more Malekith back in my rotation, because Malekith can be enough of a wild card that I really shouldn't play that game. Like, I should probably have my outs for Malekith. Likewise, I have kind of been considering, like, the amount of time I spend picking up lootables and whatnot, and I'm kind of thinking, like, do I maybe instead dedicate more time to just going and killing, like, a handful of bosses that are worth a decent pile of money? Because if I were to do that, it's not really that bad of an idea. It's not. We should have pretty much everything we need at this point. The one thing that doesn't technically benefit us here is the Axe Talisman, or our tier for that matter. Our tier is not exactly correct for Gideon. So we walk in, we buff, we golden bow, two-hand this, blood on our blade, flame.
To stand before the Elden, to become Elden Lord. What a sad state of affairs. I commend you.
I think we backstab him.
None shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us, that we continue to struggle unto eternity. thought, well...
Yeah, that was scuffed. That was scuffed. And unfortunately, that essentially is the worst case answer. Yeah, that actually is the worst case answer. Because at that point then, that essentially is what we considered just, like, the Gideon slope. Because it pretty much literally just turns into, did you fight him right that time? Did you do well enough? No, you didn't? Oh, well, see, that was your first mistake, and now it's going to be your last. Because at this point in time, Gideon just becomes an obnoxious prick to fight. That's really all it comes down to. Because you pretty much need to hopefully see him do exactly one thing when you run up to him. And if he doesn't do that one thing when you run up to him, well, best of luck, get fucked. It's unfortunate that apparently I wasn't behind this pillar. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and consider this the reset point at this time. It seems like a fine time to do it. Considering that Gideon's now officially fucked, it's not really... There's not really a good enough reason to continue with the situation on deck. So unfortunately, Randall, baby, I hate to say it, but you gotta be put in the grave. It is officially that time. Okay. Alright, Randall in the grave. Beautiful. And off into our next character. Which again, I kind of considered taking this character as a chance to just do some testing and whatnot, but I think I'm going to hold off on that unless the character gets hit. If the character gets hit, then we'll use the character as a test character, so I think I'm just going to name this character Test. Pickles. Beautiful. Why would I get a golden seed? That's stupid. And understandably, just like Sir Testicles himself, he's a bit scruffy, he's a bit fuzzy, he's a bit hairy. Makes perfect sense, really. Because he likes to rough it. He's a rough kind of lad. We're going to start this character up today. I don't think we're going to be continuing much longer. Because things with the Super Bowl are probably going to be starting soon enough here soon. And before anyone even asks me, no, I have no fucking clue where things sit with a Super Bowl at this point. I barely pay attention to it other than the commercials. I really don't. I don't even know what teams are playing actually for the Super Bowl this year. I just usually in it for the halftime and the ads. Which is fun again. It's really the one time of the year where I think they put effort into ads that are worth watching. The Super Bowl, more or less, I think is like a really comical example of like, if only they put actual like things that you wanted to watch for ads on TV instead of just fucking waste your time ads all the time. Like, if they did more of that all the time, people would probably not complain about things like, I have to sit here for 15 fucking seconds and watch this ad. Like, yeah. I think actually, for what it was worth, there was an ad not too long ago. I'm kind of blanking on what it was specifically, but I do remember having just enough care in my heart to actually watch the ad. I was like, oh, okay, this is actually kind of interesting. This is a, like, I think it was, like, weirdly self-aware and funny enough that it just worked. And it's like, come on, yeah, you can fucking have ads that work. Yeah, right, Minnie? Like, it's silly. It's silly. Because if they did shit like that more or less all year round, then people probably would really want to watch their ads. World's worth. Also the receptiveness of the ads as well. Yeah, no, honestly, it doesn't just feel like it's an ad to like just waste your fucking time. It feels like the ads were weirdly enough, get this, made for people to want to buy the product. It's like, okay, yeah. Yeah, it turns out that that's actually a weirdly useful way to do things. When you make it for people and they actually want the thing, it just fucking works. You spelled the wrong word. Oh, fair enough. I mean, it worked. Good news. You failed, you might have failed the wisdom check, but the charisma check worked. Repetitiveness. Oh yeah, the repetitiveness, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point, though. Yeah. When the ads overplay themselves, it does get pretty annoying pretty fast. It does get annoying pretty fast. Didn't need this, but I want this. Oh boy, 400 runes. I'm really cooking today. All that money. All that shmoney. It worked out, man. It worked out. Kinda did that far away from that guy. That was kind of stupid. Oh well, it worked out. I'm not gonna lie, of the characters that I have, I really do like this one in particular, but I think it's mainly just because he is overwhelmingly uncomfortable to look at for the most part. Like, he kind of strikes me as like the embodiment of like a silverback gorilla given human flesh for the most part, but he's still not really sure what to do with that fact, and like, that's fair. I did that wrong. There we go. No, I accidentally used a fire arrow for that. That was unnecessary. Eh, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't use the fire arrows enough. Alright, flail achieved. Okay. Oh, damn it, another skull. Look, I know I don't need this, but, like, money's money. And if you see a dollar bill on the side of the road, you aren't going to exactly just go like, ah, shit, a dollar bill. Well, someone will get that. No, you're going to go, oh, fuck, a dollar bill. I'm going to get that.
Have you, they sir, but you, I can play turning root to aid you. You need to the foot. Then summon me.
All right.
I bequeath. It will some torrent. Treat him with.
Okay, so thinking about my usual routing here. This is normally where I start going down that way, head towards Kenneth Height and whatnot. I think I'm going to still do that, but I think I'm going to cut it off after a certain point. And I'm going to start heading back towards the gate. Because the gate is relatively safe. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just do that now? Why don't I just start heading towards the gate now, actually? Because I would argue anything I do with this gate over here is definitely more dangerous, just routing-wise, because of the one giant that's chilling over this way. Unfortunately, that one giant is just enough of a danger, just enough of a threat, that, yeah, it probably is worth it to get this knocked out right this minute, as opposed to later. Like, the thing is like, this area isn't exactly, like, dangerous to run through. It's just enough of a danger to be like, yeah, you probably should do this sooner than later, because, like, on the scale of, like, getting hit there, there's probably, like, maybe a 10-15% chance that you get shot, unless you sit around on your ass and then run through the area, then yeah, the giant will probably yell at you. You will probably take a hit, but I don't normally run into that exact situation. So. For all it's worth, I think I do kind of like routing this way better anyways, because there's a lot of cascading, I guess, in this case. Instead of it being like a full lap around, you just kind of get this little section, this chunk knocked out sooner than later. That giant doesn't normally present issues, but, well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if today's the day. I'm kind of feeling a lot of potential of just, like, random shenanigans, admittedly. I am, in fact, feeling a lot of potential for random shenanigans. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Alright, Golden Vow a little early here, but it doesn't really matter because we don't really have a buffing sequence for this guy. We just run up and casually fucking murder him. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. There we go. I don't really need that lance, and I don't really need anything that's being guarded over that way, so I think what we're going to do is... what we'll do instead is we're going to just start heading back towards Burning right now. So something I do probably need practice on here soon enough is I do need to start figuring out what do I want to do about the Knight's Cav that gets me Giant's Hunt. Because Giant's Hunt is... It is really damn useful. Don't get me wrong, my fight against Gideon unfortunately went heavily tits up. Which I'm kind of considering in this case, maybe what we'll do next time, so that way we can kind of have our cake and eat it too, is we're going to start another character, a secondary character, and that character will end up being like a raw test character. And we're just going to essentially test out certain things on bosses that are giving us issue. To see if it helps improve the overall experience. Did we get the +5 bits here? Guess we did? Yeah, I guess we did. Okay. Alright, good. Either way, though. Long story short of that situation, I want to try to maybe do that as a secondary. That way we don't have to lose our run. We can have a character to test things out and figure it out and whatnot. And hopefully, after we've kind of had certain situations figured out and whatnot, we can put it all together into this run in order to get that hit list. Because there's really, I think, only so many points now at this point that are genuine stressors. I'm trying to think of what value do I get out of an early Alexander. Because Alexander isn't really horrible, but Alexander can kind of fuck you up out of nowhere. How are we doing on stones? Alright, we're at 6 already. Okay, cool.
You here as a...
Alright, 2 more from this guy. That puts us at 8. We need 4 more. We'll definitely be getting 4 more just off of routing. Just out of running around, frankly. So, we should be fine on that. Okay. What time are we rocking, folks? We're currently rocking to just shy of about 2 hours for the stream right now. We'll probably end up calling things not terribly soon from now, but pretty close to it. Not obviously a very long night for sure, but in this case, well, with it being Super Bowl and whatnot, I wanted to get something in today. So we'll probably be calling it kind of soonish. Once we've done like a relative amount of looting and whatnot, we'll probably call it after that. And the other thing I want to kind of explore here too, I guess on that side character, talking about it, is I want to explore some potential boss kills to get us more money. Because we can find other opportunities to get us more money, then admittedly... Okay, Torrent was torrenting for a second there. A little annoying, but, you know, it's Torrent we're talking about. Torrent is still torrenting. I guarantee you, when I'm steering like that, it's definitely not me. It's definitely not me outright that's causing that. That's just Torrent. There we go. But yeah, it would be nice to figure out a boss or three that we could maybe use as, like, essentially just things for us to murder that will give us a lot of money without it being a lot of stress to murder, right? Because if we could do that, if there's a couple of bosses in the game that can do that for us, then we should probably, in theory, be doing that. I haven't really had trouble with this giant here yet, so I think I'm just going to keep the pathing I've been doing. Oh, shit, I forgot to kill Kenneth. Whatever. Kenneth can live this run. It's fine. I don't really, like, care for the Kenneth interaction anyways. Let's go to Caelid now. Caelid early game is probably arguably best. We do have our handful of Kukri, which I don't want to forget. So let's go and do that. I will say, folks, if you've been having a good time tonight and enjoying the stream overall, do definitely be sure to leave a like on the stream. It helps out a lot and a half, means a lot and a half to me. It just lets me know, like, hey, people are enjoying this, people are enjoying what's going on here, regardless of the win or loss. Definitely helps out in that front. Likewise, I think, depending on how things go tonight and where things sit tonight, I might end up doing a secondary stream, potentially. But that one might end up actually being Marvel Rivals, funny enough. I've been playing a absolute shit ton and a half of Marvel Rivals lately. And, I don't know, I think I just want to share my experience on that one, because it's been fun. I've been having a better time with it, I think, mainly because I've been doing it with other people. And that definitely goes a long way. So, but I think in this case, if I do end up having that stream, well, that will probably be what happens tonight, if we do it. So, oh, there we go, there we go, awesome. See, like, when I was referring to potential murders that we could end up doing here that would actually be, like, worth a lot of fucking money. This Tree Guardian over here is worth a literal shit ton of money. Like, honestly, like, this lad right here is worth a ton and a half. And murdering it's not exactly the hardest thing in the world. It's just kind of... You just kind of have to smack the ever-living shit out of it with a pair of balls. Or spiky balls. And, like, save for, like, 2 of its attacks, everything else is relatively manageable and very, very straightforward. Even the 2 attacks that are, like, weirdly not manageable are only not manageable because they kind of just cause you to have to pivot incredibly hard. That's really it. Otherwise, it's not really that bad of a time. Alright, so we just need to go ahead and go get our Beast Torch at this point. Once we get the Beast Torch, then we can go ahead and do Fort Faroth. Fort Faroth should not be too much of an issue, as I think we've kind of more or less narrowed down our Fort Faroth experience. It's gotten better, I would say that much for sure. I kind of have to imagine the rain in Caelid feels probably like ass. Like, I can't exactly imagine Caelid rains being very comfortable to be in. I would have to imagine feel like acid rain or something like that, just because. Now, obviously, they can't very well make that the mechanic for the game, just because, like, if they did that, and you ran around Caelid and you were constantly dying because of the fucking rain, yeah, that would suck. That would be one of those few times where you should not have done that, mechanically. But I could still imagine that being awful. Just lore-wise, the rain would probably be horrible to walk around in. What are you doing over here? You fucking goofball. I do not see that dragon out of place that much, that frequently. Oh, nice double miss. Okay, all right. Well, we're apparently on a streak today. Hot streak of absolute ass. All right, that should be enough to kill. Beautiful. We really only do that because of the money. In this case, the Somber 8s and the Somber 9s. I mean, Sombers in general are worth a lot of money. But in this case, yeah, we do that mainly because that's worth a decent chunk of change. So, I swear, this is gonna be the day one of these dogs fucking aggroed to me, and that I'm feeling a hot streak of ass. Surprisingly, I don't think anyone aggroed to me, which is good news.
Well, it's been how can I?
Okay, sell that off, and then hey, that extra pocket change kind of came in handy. It doesn't really help like a lot, but like, fuck it. You know what? We have how many? We have 14 of these fucking things right now? That's not worth a lot, but like, that is a lot of pocket change for all it's worth. That's like having like 3 or 4 whole rolls of pennies at that rate. And just breaking that out. It doesn't look like a lot, and it surely isn't a lot, but like, it fucking is a lot. Alright, do that. Torch. Be in the offhand. So, stealth, stealth, stealth. Run over to here, roughly right here. Kukri in the corner. Right. And we are safe. Beautiful. Also, I kind of failed to acknowledge it last time, but actually the poisons... When you get poisoned by an enemy, then yeah, that poison counts. But if you get poisoned by the environment, then that doesn't actually count for all it's worth. Run over this way, grab this rune right here, hop the gate, run right on through, drop down, grab the source seal, and then get the fuck out. 181 runes be damned. Okay, cool. And there is essentially one of our main talismans for the run. Alright. Now, we are on our way on down to Castle Redmane, pretty much. Castle Redmane should be fine. Like, we're not doing Castle Redmane yet, but, like, pretty much the ride there, as far as things stand, the ride there is fine. The ride there is completely fine. We've done a relatively good job of avoiding the ball trigger here, which is good. We really don't want that ball to trigger. If that happens, we're having a much worse day than we should be having. Okay. 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 And one more fall. And we're good to go. Cool. This has been fine, though. This has been fine, though. So far, I have not really thought anything of these scenarios here that feels, like, outright dangerous. Don't get me wrong, like, running through that dragonfly nest feels dangerous, but so far, it has not been dangerous. Really at all, I guess. It feels the part, though. Alright, there's that, beautiful. Oh, better job avoiding those lads. Where did I take damage from? Was it a fall? I guess it must have been a fall, I'm guessing. I have not gotten hit by anything so far. Grab the map. Yeah, I haven't gotten hit yet, right? I'm guessing it was fall damage, because that one last fall there, it looks on the fence of taking damage from it. And that does look like fall damage values right there. So, might be a little presumptuous to assume that it was fall damage, but hey, fuck it, I'm gonna fucking do that. I was about to start running towards Fort Jail immediately, but I don't really want to do that yet. Because, admittedly, Fort Jail doesn't really, it's not exactly a safe run, and then you have to ultimately sit down at the grace that you run to. So, maybe I'll wait on that one. Okay, so, again, probably need to learn this a little more in depth here, is I need to learn whether or not the torch needs to be held when running through an area, but I'm like 60% confident that you don't need to hold the torch to run through an area in order for it to work. You just need to have it equipped and on your back, pretty much. And it doesn't really matter because, well, in this case, the only things that are technically threatening to me are, well, the dogs, I guess. Because these Radon Knights and whatnot, they aren't really, like, threatening. They're just kind of here. Alright. Run over here, do this. These guys should end up giving me some money for free. Run on up here real quickly, and we're going to go ahead and get ourselves... Oh, you know what? It's not that, actually. It's not that I took damage, it's that it's the Source Seal. Oh, okay, 2 R2s is enough to deal with that situation. Beautiful. Yeah, it's the fact that I equipped the Source Seal, because I imagine if I... Yep. Yeah, that was it. Okay. We could start the Fort Jail run now, but I think I'm going to save it for later. Because Fort Jail isn't really required. Fort Jail... Probably our safest bet for Fort Jail is to come there after we've actually gotten Assassin's Gambit. More than likely. Because the only thing that we're really getting out of that situation is we're getting Flame Grant Me Strength. And it is really damn good. But it's not required for most of what we're doing. So. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, maybe we do take the other route to Kenneth Heights. Yeah, you know what? I think we do, actually. Because technically this puts us in path of a lot more important like, relatively important stuff. And we do want to be able to collect most, if not all of that stuff. So.
Oi! You there. Could you help us out, Cully?
I shall not be helping you out, Gully. You know what? Maybe one thing I should maybe put some stock into would be whether or not it's worth it for me to try and murder Patches. Or at least to get Patches opened as a shop. Because Patches in this case he does have value to him. Like Patches, he has the Morgott Shackle. And Morgott Shackle would be a pretty big get, considering it essentially just nerfs Morgott on the spot. It nerfs Morgott on the spot, and it nerfs Margit on the spot. Makes both of them essentially absolute chump change. Now, don't get me wrong, I have ways around both of them, and, like, pretty much I think as far as every Morgott fight has gone, other than the last one, which it's kind of embarrassing missing the shot that I missed, but it still stands to reason that, like, we can do it as we have been doing it. We don't really need that. So, I don't know. Patches is... If we were working with a worse weapon, then I think Patches would be the correct play. Atomically. I don't think I've ever accidentally aggroed that guy before, but hey, today's the day. Alright. Bop. Boom. Bizzle. Awesome. Oh, you know what? We have Beast Torch. Duh! We have Beast Torch, which means these guys should not want to fuck with me, in theory, right? Grab the fucking... Yeah. Yeah, Beast Torch is making it so they don't want to fuck with me. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's kind of on a timer. Like, it only lasts for so long where they won't fuck with you. But still, that's highly important. Because that just made it so we could loot that entire graveyard. So, was it super valuable? Yeah. A big old fucking eh. Alright, beautiful. Alright, and now we can run up here. Sure, we can get stuck on a tree real quickly. Why not? I don't think I want the torch out, because otherwise I accidentally aggro... I think I accidentally aggro some of these enemies. I don't know, Chad. I might just be failing, like, a general skill check right now in life, as is. Because, like, within 24 hours, I have not only accidentally cut my own tongue... I also accidentally cut my pinky because one of my cups broke. And as I was washing it, it broke. Pretty much. So it's been a fun 24-hour period of accidental stupidity. Admittedly. Okay, so here's an example where the torch should be out, I think. Beautiful. Free golden rune. Would have been nicer if I'd gotten like a slightly larger rune there, but yeah, sure, fuck it. We'll take what we can get. Alright, this guy's gonna pop up in like 2 seconds here. Yep, there we go. This guy just always pops up, like, randomly, pretty much. Like, his head doesn't pop up until, like, the very last second, and I kind of find it funny. Except for the fact that it's just kind of fucking annoying as piss. Alright, run on over there. Stab him in the spine. Beautiful. Absolutely fucking murdered. That's gotten better, though. Luckily, I'm not getting cheap shot by that guy anymore. That's nice. That actually is nice. And I think decidedly I am gonna go ahead and still get the crafting kit recipe, because having the extra bleed grease, maybe I can find more opportunities to shove bleed grease into the run, and it will make sense. So far, it really hasn't, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it can't, just that it hasn't. Honestly, it'd be great if they could all gather around those explosive barrels right there. Because I do have fire arrows, and you know, I can't believe I haven't thought about that one before, but yeah, fire do go boom. Now, let's just see how far these guys will go on their own. Please go all the way. Please go all the way. You're so nice. Yo, that rat was a little fucking mean. Rude. Okay, well, shit. I mean, the one died. It didn't go the way that it was supposed to, but fuck it. I guess we're here now. Alright, there's one more guy in there. I know he's in there. He's just fucking chilling it here. There we go. Beautiful. Was it worth murdering him in that way? Not really. Did it still happen? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Oh, more money. With this much luck, surely, surely it'll translate on the back end for me, right? Surely it'll translate into getting more Smithy 5s out of the lads down in that one cave. I can only hope. I can only hope. This money should help pay off a little bit more of what we need at this point. Need 2 more Smithy ones. I'm trying to think of where I get those naturally in the land. Yeah, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna buy him here. I don't care. Huh, weird. I have less lilies than I thought I would have normally. Maybe I haven't run past my lily source yet. That's probably it, admittedly. I guess if for some reason I need to, I can come back to this guy, but I shouldn't need to, is the thing. I shouldn't need to. You know, I didn't think about it, but the torch, in theory, I think should help with the bear as well. Yeah, the torch should prevent the bear from wanting to, you know, claw out my butthole. In theory. I'm not sure why the bear would be more scared of a torch, but, you know, we can hope. We can hope for the best. There we go. There's, like, a ton of my lilies. And you know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I get a ton more when I go down to Weeping Peninsula. I get, like, 4 or 5 more, almost, when I go to Weeping Peninsula. So, yeah, that should cover every requirement. Alright. Doing good. Need to wrap up my run through Limgrave at this point, which also means heading into Weeping. Oh, you know what? That's what it is. Weeping is where we go and get, I think it's 2 or 4 more of the Smithy ones. That's where we go. That being said, we're gonna need plenty for this run. I almost kind of want to question, like, do I really need as many weapons leveled up as I have? Could I try to instead scrape something else together? Because I want to, like, ultimately, I want that pivot into the Starfists, because it is really good. Hey, Randall. Good seeing ya. Also, I'm sorry, dude. Unfortunately, Randall, it went kind of sideways. It went kind of sideways, man. A little more heavily than one would want, but... Alright, was that worth my effort? Probably not. Yeah, Malekith started giving us the absolute fucking work down, and unfortunately from there, it kind of cascaded. Our Gideon, unfortunately, did not go correctly. He didn't get scripted, and yeah. You know, I was about to let Gideon live.
Grant me succor.
Suck! 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 Suck on these. Anyways, now we have testicles. I guess it's not testicles, it's testicles. Okay. I think that's roughly everything in the general vicinity that we need currently. The only other thing that we have to do here is we have to start heading on down towards Weeping. But you know what, I guess why don't we do the Weeping Peninsula now? Get that all covered and accessed and whatnot, and just get that done now. Yeah, I don't know, man. It has apparently been an absolute fucking skill check of a day and a half for me, apparently. Because, yeah, I again, cut my tongue, and I don't really want to explain how that one fucking happened, but it fucking happened. Luckily, it wasn't a bad cut. It just kind of fucking happened, and it was unfortunate when it happened. But then there's also just the sheer fact that, like, the cup I was washing today, it broke, and then naturally, as all things go, when you're washing something, fucking accidentally cut my my hand on that, which was entertaining. And then, I don't know, like, I'm just kind of, like, looking around more or less right now, like, okay, what's gonna be the next fucking thing? What's gonna be the next thing that happens here today? I'm not big on superstitions, but I do believe when two things bad happen like that close to each other, I'm always prepared for the third usually, because I don't know, like it does tend to come in threes, right? It tends to come in threes. Luckily, I have like zero investment in the football game tonight, so I shouldn't in theory be a problem for anybody watching football. Because, like, neither of the teams are my favorite, and or not. So, luckily, that's not an issue, but... that should do on Kukuri for right now. I was almost wondering if maybe I should do Bastard Sword, just for the sake of it, because, like, that should be able to get fire, Giant Sun, right? Like, that may be a worthy option. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think so overall. I don't think it's worth my effort. Well, we are doing kind of really good on baby runes right now, aren't we? Like, there has been enough skulls on this playthrough, and, I mean, okay, well, fuck. I'm gonna ignore that one because 3 dogs versus 1 skull. I gotta start cooking dinner probably soon here, admittedly. I got luckily some really good like cheesy. It's not cheesy flatbread, but essentially the idea is like it's cheesy flatbread. Not quite latkes, but kind of I don't know what to call them in this case. They're Georgian. I can say that much, and I don't mean the state Georgia. I mean in this case the country Georgia. They are so fucking good though. They are genuinely so fucking good. It's essentially like having oh my god, why am I blanking on the name of it right now? But it's like having like a really thin and crusty, like flaky kind of bread essentially is what it is. and then on top of that bread, or right in between that bread, it's like a blend of like feta and mozzarella cheeses, pretty much. Point is shit is really good, right? Like, it'll make you kind of fat. But I'm looking forward to it because, like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a good time. I'm gonna do that. Probably mix in some extra leftovers that I have right now. Not quite, what's it called? Khachapuri. It's not quite khachapuri, but, like, imagine if you've ever had khachapuri before. It's like khachapuri, but, like, baklava. It's like baklava if, khachapuri and baklava had a baby. That's how I would put it, actually. Which, admittedly, now that I think about it, the two things that I just mentioned may not fucking strike anyone in this audience. Like, it may be in one ear out the other, which is totally fair. Either way, the point is very flaky, thin, crusty, baked bread, with, like, feta and mozzarella in between it. And, like, there's just enough layer of, like, a soft, doughy bread. It's dude, I'm gonna be eating well tonight. I'm gonna be eating well. It's gonna be such a good time. Okay. I could buy the Zweihander right now. I do have, in all seriousness, I mean, like, I do have a lot of money.
There's been a how can I?
Currently right now, I think I need 2,800. Yeah, 2,800 for the Zwei. And then he also sells 4 or 3 Smithy 2s, which I kind of want to get those now. That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Do 2 of those, 1 of these, and that should be enough to cover my costs. There we go. Cool. That's 6 of those. Now whatever weapon we have at the moment can get up to a +5 at a bare minimum. +5's not terrible. Could be better. But it's still definitely above.
Have a safe journey.
Have a safe journey. I'm sorry. I love that guy. I haven't used a mausoleum a single time since, like, my first run, have I? Okay. Alright. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to head into Liurnia. And I think on Liurnia, we're going to go and call it. I think that's our game plan right now. That is the end goal for tonight, at least. Once we're done making that run into Liurnia, I will probably save everything for next time. I mean, as far as things stand right now, I think one of our biggest issues is going to be figuring out the best way to handle the Knight's Cav. Which, like I said, what we might end up doing next time we come back is I might end up setting up a secondary character here. And essentially just run that character through the ringer of doing test work, pretty much. So we'll pretty much end up making a Test Rickles, if you will. And Test Rickles will probably end up just spending his time fighting nothing but bosses. Like Knight's Cav and Malakath, for sure. But that might be what we do next time. So that way we can save Test Ickles here from losing the run. I think that sounds like a decent plan for the most part. Okay, decent RNG overall on the wolves. Not a single wolf causing me issues, which is nice. I'm happy to be here, though. I'm happy to be here. I love this game way too fucking much. And even, like, it's kind of silly. Like, it kind of seems like it would be too much and too repetitive and, like, kind of frustrating and whatnot. But, like, I do genuinely enjoy just putting these runs down and whatnot and just keeping at it and going at it. there's just, I don't know, like, it's something about playing this game that has always just been, it's relaxing. It is very relaxing to me. Even if it doesn't seem like it's outright relaxing, even when I sound like I'm getting angry and shit, it really is overall that way for me, because, I don't know, like, there's just something so just cathartic about just running through the game and getting everything set up for a build, and then putting that build to the absolute test in such a firmly strong way that it just works. It just works for me.
Surprised no matter. Why don't? Oh, don't.
Alright, 1400 there.
Not
Pretty much doing this mainly just for his Smithy 2s. 9 of those. We end up getting the pile of 3 on the gazebo, and that covers our cost for that. I don't need more Smithy 1s at this point, so we're good to go. You know, I just realized we didn't actually need this pile, because there's 2 piles of 2, or 2 piles of 3 2s. My bad. There we go. We didn't actually need this one, but oh well, it's fine. Either way, I think that's gonna have to do it. I think it's gonna have to do it for tonight. So, folks, next time we come back, we're either gonna continue on our quest with Mr. Test Ickles here, or we'll end up starting up his brother's account, which will be Test Rickles. And I figure for either one of them, we're either gonna put one of them to the absolute test, and just test out bosses, test out mechanics, test out methods of potentially finding new ways of earning a shit ton of money and whatnot, or we'll end up just trying to do it again. Admittedly, I'm nervous about the Knight's Cav, but I'm also kind of maybe questioning on maybe we push the Knight's Cav to later in the game. If we were to push the Knight's Cav later into the game, in theory, that wouldn't be a dumb idea. You know what, actually, maybe we'll test something, because I've been trying to use just Kukri for the Knight's Cav. Maybe what we'll do instead is maybe I'll test and see if I can hit him with the sleeping pot, and if he goes to sleep on a single sleeping pot, I can maybe use that as my advantage to finish him off, right? Maybe. But just an idea. We'll see kind of what happens with it. That was the wrong screen. There we go. We'll kind of figure it out. We'll see ultimately what is the right move there, for sure. But either way, folks, thank you for joining me here today. If you had a great time, do be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already considered it, join our Discord hit. It means a lot to me. It means a ton and a half, in all seriousness. And it's an easy way to show support, frankly. So, thank you if you have. I appreciate it a ton. If you haven't, do consider it. But otherwise, have a wonderful night. I might see you all later with some Marvel Rivals, potentially, maybe. Yeah. Good night, folks.